This episode will cover engine lubrication systems. Name one type of oil filter used on aircraft engines. Screen, Kuno, canister, or spin-on. What is straight mineral oil? It is a type of natural lubricating oil that has no additives for foaming, cleaning, or viscosity. What is ashless dispersant oil? It is a type of mineral oil with additives that evenly spread contaminants throughout the oil. The additives that are used do not form ashes. What is synthetic oil? Synthetic oil is an oil that is man-made through the process of chemically altering the molecular structure of petroleum oil to achieve the desired characteristics. What is meant by multi-viscosity oil? It is a type of oil that has varying viscosity. When the oil is cold, it will have low viscosity, but when it warms up, the viscosity will increase for better lubrication. For example, 5W30 has a viscosity index of 5 when it is cold, but 30 when it is warm. What are the purposes of reciprocating engine oil? It cleans, cools, cushions, seals, and lubricates parts. What is the most important property that aircraft reciprocating engine oil must possess? Viscosity. What factors must be considered in determining the proper grade of oil to use in a specific engine? The operating load, rotational speeds, and operating temperatures are the most important factors to be considered. What is the purpose of the oil flow control valve, or oil cooler bypass valve? When the oil is cool, the valve will direct it around the oil cooler. When the oil is warm, it will be directed through the oil cooler. What are some oil contaminants? Gasoline, moisture, acid, dirt, carbon, and metallic particles. From what location on a reciprocating engine is the oil temperature usually taken? In either system, the bulb is located where it measures oil temperature before it enters the hot section of the engine. In a dry sump lubricating system, the oil temperature bulb is located anywhere in the oil inlet line in between the oil tank and the engine. Wet sump systems have the temperature bulb located where it senses the temperature after the oil passes through the oil cooler. What do metallic parts on an oil screen indicate? Metallic parts may be an indication of internal failure of the engine. What could cause oil foaming? Foaming can be caused by diluted oil, contaminated oil, or the oil level is too high. What would be an indication of blocked oil cooler passages? High oil temperature. What would be an indication of inadequate oil supply? Low oil pressure and high oil temperature. What type of oil is used in turbine engine lubrication systems? Specially developed synthetic oils. Where can you find the specific grade of oil for a particular aircraft? Oil grades can be found in the airplane flight manual or the pilot's operating handbook. What are two types of oil coolers used in turbine engine lubrication systems? The air-cooled oil cooler and fuel-cooled oil cooler are the two basic types in general use. What is the meaning of oil flash point and fire point? Oil flash point is the temperature at which the oil will begin to give off ignitable vapors. The fire point is the temperature at which there are sufficient vapors to support a continuous flame. What is the weight of aircraft engine oil? Approximately 7.5 pounds per U.S. gallon. What is the purpose of oil dilution system? The oil dilution system thins the oil by introducing the fuel into the lubrication system, which makes cold weather starting easier. Fuel is used because it will evaporate out of the oil and leave through the crankcase breather. What is the primary purpose of engine oil lubricant? To reduce friction. What is the SOAP analysis? Spectrometric Oil Analysis Program is an oil analysis system that establishes a trend to measure engine health. One test does not do much unless something is very wrong. Where are carbon seals used in turbine engines? Carbon seals are used in aircraft gearboxes, air turbine motor starters, and main shaft seals. What is the key purpose of lubrication in a turbine engine? For lubrication of the main shaft bearings. Where are engine oil filters located? They are located between the oil pump output and the engine bearings. Why do reciprocating engines require oil with a high viscosity index? Higher viscosity indexes allow for easier starting in cold temperatures and prevents the oil from becoming too thin at operating temperatures to protect bearings under operating loads. Why do reciprocating engines require high viscosity oil? Higher viscosity oil performs better in reciprocating engines because they have large clearances, high operating temperatures, and high bearing pressures. What two factors impact fluid viscosity? Temperature and pressure, although pressure has a very small effect on viscosity. What is the purpose of ashless dispersant oil? To prevent sludge buildup and oil filters from clogging. What is the most critical lubrication point in a gas turbine engine? The turbine bearing. Why is an oil tank required to have expansion space? To provide for thermal expansion and air in the return oil. Name some areas of turbine engine oil systems where oil screens or filters may be located. Oil pressure system, the scavenge system, at or just before the oil jets. Why do dry sump reciprocating engines have a smaller sump? To prevent a large accumulation of oil in the engine crankcase.